Hello and welcome to Ekevato Reviews. Today we will be taking an in-depth look at the 2013 Toyota IST. We will go as in-depth as possible with regard to aspects such as fuel consumption, ground clearance, engine options and much more. So please stay tuned. I would also appreciate it if you would kindly consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars. Let me know if there's any specific car you would like me to review, and I'll do my best to make sure I upload the review as soon as I can. You can also kindly support the channel by donating. I'll leave the details in the description box. Several viewers had requested for a review on this car, so here it is. Let's begin straight away. The 2013 Toyota IST is the second generation whose production began in 2007 till 2016. Its production was stopped in 2016, then Toyota replaced it with Toyota IST Cross, whose production began in 2020. This Toyota IST is underpinned by the B platform, which also underpins vehicles such as the Toyota Vitz, Toyota Belter, Toyota Ractis and Toyota Speed. This means several components as well as engines are shared across the board. Expect to pay from around 900 or 950,000 to 1.1 million for a good 2013 Toyota IST. The price you pay will depend on the year of manufacture, mileage as well as the features. For example, 2014 and 2015 models can cost as much as 1.3 or 1.4 million for those that have very low mileage. If you are on a tight budget, then there are also earlier models that are more affordable. For example, the 2008, 2009 and even 2010 models can cost between 650 to 900,000 depending on the mileage and overall condition of the car. Moving on to the insurance costs, the third party is 7,000 shillings per annum, while for the comprehensive insurance I got back 4 quotations from 4 different insurance companies. The lowest quotation I got was 38,500 shillings per annum, while the highest was 66,000 shillings per annum. There was also a quotation of around 44,000 shillings per annum and 49,500 shillings per annum. So the average of these 4 quotations is roughly 49,500 shillings per annum. Someone was telling me that he pays around 30-something thousand per annum on a certain car, and yet when I reviewed that specific car I mentioned a figure of around 40-something thousand. Now the amount you pay will depend on the value of your car. For example, if I buy a 2014 model IST worth around 1.3 million and you buy a 2010 model worth around 900,000 shillings, then we can't pay the same premium. When calculating the premiums to be paid, they also consider the age of the car. So the newer 2014 model will definitely attract a higher premium than a 2010 model. So these quotations that I give are just to give you a rough idea of what you may be expected to pay. But it doesn't mean that if I have mentioned 49,500, then that is what you must pay. You may pay a lower amount than that, especially if you go for an earlier model which is more affordable. There are 2 engine options. There is a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder petrol engine as well as a more powerful 1.8 liter petrol engine. The 1.5 liter produces around 107 horsepower and can sprint from 0 to 100 km per hour in 13.9 seconds, while the 1.8 liter produces 130 horsepower and can sprint from 0 to 100 km per hour in 12.5 seconds. There used to be a smaller 1.3 liter engine in the previous generation IST, but that was dropped. So for this generation you can only get the IST with the 2 engine options I've just mentioned. The car is available in either front or all-wheel drive. There are 2 transmission options on offer, a CVT gearbox as well as a 4-speed torque converter automatic. In terms of the brakes, this car has ventilated discs at the front and drum brakes at the back. Moving on to fuel consumption, it is claimed that the 1.5 liter can achieve around 18 km per liter on average. You will have to be quite light-footed to achieve this figure, otherwise you may get around 16 km per liter, which is still quite good. The 1.8 liter will achieve between 13 to 15 km per liter on average depending on how you drive. The fuel tank is 45 liters, so expect to get a driving range of between 700 to 800 km from a full tank depending on how you drive. That is in the 1.5 liter engine. The 1.8 liter engine can give a driving range of between 600 to 670 kilometers from a full tank, again depending on how you drive. Both of these engines are quite fuel efficient, but it's important to note that the 1.8 liter is quite powerful, and if driven aggressively, then the fuel efficiency figures can drop significantly. The 1.5 liter is powerful enough for normal day-to-day driving, so you will not feel the need for any more power. In terms of reliability, these engines will not disappoint, just like in many other Toyotas with the same engines. They are quite reliable, and there's really nothing major worth mentioning. The ground clearance on this car is about 165 millimeters, which is in fact the recommended ground clearance here in Kenya. So you will not need to do any modifications to adjust the clearance. The car will be able to go over bumps easily without scratching the underside of the car. Let's now talk about the service costs. The minor service should be done after 5,000 kilometers and will cost roughly 8,000 shillings depending on the quality of parts you choose to use, while the major service, which should be done after 10,000 kilometers, will cost about 17,000 shillings. The cab weight of this vehicle is between 1,150 kgs and 1,210 kgs depending on whether the car is front or all-wheel drive, as well as the engine displacement. The front-wheel drive variant is lighter, while the all-wheel drive variant with the 1.8 liter engine is slightly heavier. Some of the extra features you can get with this car include alloy rims, fog lights, keyless entry, push start button, an infotainment system, and a rear spoiler. Moving on to the exterior design, I think it looks bold and aggressive, unlike any of its competitors, which include the Honda Fit, Toyota Vitz, and Nissan Note. Let me know what you think. It's definitely a big improvement when compared to the first generation, which looked much smaller. The interior is also better than the first generation. The instrument gauges have now been positioned right in front of the driver, as opposed to the first generation that had the instrument gauges at the center of the dashboard. The dashboard gets a basic yet functional design. It has a single zone automatic AC, 2 cup holders just in front of the gear lever. The seats are fabric but comfortable. There's also ample space at the front row, so even tall people can be able to fit without any problems. At the back, the space is not that much, but it's slightly better than in the Vitz. 3 average-sized adults can be accommodated even on a slightly long journey. The boot again doesn't have all that much space. It's moderately spaced. It can maybe take one large suitcase and some other small items. If more storage space is needed, then the back seat bases can be flipped forward. Then the backrests can fold down into the floor to create a very flat surface for loading in items. The spare parts are readily available, especially being that many components are shared with other Toyotas. The only problem may be the body parts that may require you to look around a bit, but you will definitely be able to find them, especially in Nairobi. So there you have it. This is a reliable and robust looking hatchback that is fuel efficient and better than the Toyota Vitz in terms of high speed, stability, and even space. The only thing I would like to point out is that in my opinion, the 2013 and 2014 models are a bit overpriced. For that 1.3 or 1.4 million, you can definitely be able to get a better car. So my recommendation is that go for the earlier models like the 2011 or 2012. They are more affordable. You can still get some that are in very good condition at an affordable price. Let me know what you think about this car. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you in the next video.